Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Liverpool transfer room with myself, Louis, for the live watch along of Everton versus Liverpool. The massive Merseyside derby is finally here. The teams are just coming out. I'll let you know when we do have kickoff if you're looking to sync it up with the game on the TV, if you prefer some alternative commentary. In goal for Liverpool is Alisson. The back four: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, and Andrew Robertson. Midfield: Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago. Up front, Salah, Jota, and Mane. So keeping most of those players in from the last game. You know, I don't like when we're expected to go out and smash someone. And I know that we're favourites for most of the games we play. But when people go on about it this much, it makes me nervous. As the players have come out, the commentators just said that Everton fans are scared that this could become a demolition derby. I swear to God, anything could happen. Anything could happen. I don't take any results for granted. So if you're looking for me to come out with extremes and start saying that we should be smashing this lot 5, 6, 7-0, maybe you're right, but I'm not doing it. I'm not buckling. For Everton, I have Pickford in goal, Coleman and Digne on the wings. If you happen to watch the tactical video from Kris earlier, he made very interesting points about how they'll be looking to potentially exploit the half spaces in their 4-2-3-1. Richarlison is in the starting lineup and he's playing on the wing. We've got Tyler Morton on the bench again. I very much doubt on this occasion he would be starting, but, well, getting minutes. The bench doesn't look too bad. If things go tits up, though, I don't see many winners, apart from, Origi has a good record in this fixture. Hi, Kris. How you doing, mate? What's your prediction for tonight? I've got to go with the boys. I'm going to say I don't see us smashing them. I see at Goodison Park it's always going to be a tight one. So I'm not gonna come out here again, as I said, with a 5-6-0 prediction. Saying a 2-0. I'd like us very much to keep a clean sheet, obviously, and I got some stats, obviously. With Everton having lost 5 of their last 6, it would be a bit embarrassing, not just from a derby perspective, but in general to drop points at all. They've conceded 12 goals in those 6 games, and at the moment we're scoring over 2 goals a game, which hasn't happened before. For the 17 games in all competitions that we've played so far this season, we've averaged more than 2 goals a game, and that hasn't happened since I don't know if it was like the 1920s or something ridiculous like that. But yeah, players just lining up now for a moment of silence or a moment of applause. Yeah, a moment of applause. That's nice. Do I think we can keep up the form? Well, we live in hope, don't we, Kris? Again, I sound like a nervous wreck, and you might be right. I might be, but I mean, we've got to, haven't we? They have been the times I've watched them. I just don't think Everton have the players for the type of football that Benitez wants to play. I know when he was at Liverpool, he didn't always have the best. He always had a Gerrard, had a Torres, but there's obviously nobody like that in this Everton lineup. Just getting ready to start now. So if you are looking to match up with the commentary to make sure you don't miss any live reactions, I'll be taking the knee again. Well received. Round of applause. Here we go. And that's it. We're underway. So, Will Smith, Everton upsets on the card. I can feel it. No, I've got to back the boys. I'll say we put 3 past them. So, Kris, if you were looking for your score prediction to use against me at some point, I'm saying Everton 0, Liverpool 3. But we'll see. Mane's in already here. Oh, it's gone out for a corner there. Coleman and Pickford with a bit of a miscommunication. They can't hack it. They don't want it, and they can't hack it. Will Smith, thanks for the comments, guys. Keep them coming. Everton upset on the cards. I can feel it. No. Oh, I see. Everton upset on the cards. I can feel it. Yeah, so try that again. Got it right this time. No, not having it. Not having it. If there is an upset, I will be very upset. Trent with the corner. Oh, Joel Matip, headers wide. He should score way more. Headers. He is a massive bloke, and he's absolutely free. He's absolutely free just outside the 6-yard box and manages to miss the far post. No conviction, really. It's the same with Van Dijk. I know he scored in the last game from a volley, but even that shouldn't have really gone in. But they should both. I expect a lot more from them on corners. They should both be scoring more. Rafa to get a hostile reception. We'll have to wait for the Anfield game, I suppose, because we're at Goodison, so I can't really hear much else. As you'd expect, the Everton fans are up for it. It's into the box. Bit of a push there. Robertson's back into the middle. It's cleared out again. Robertson again. And Everton get it clear. Yeah, no, we'll have to wait for the Everton, the Anfield game. They've given it away. Salah's just put it wide. For those who aren't watching the game, Salah's just put it over from inside the 6-yard box this time, I think. So 2 massive chances in the opening. Yeah, inside the 6-yard box. He's tapped it over the bar. Absolutely free, under no pressure whatsoever. I hope it's not a sign of things to come, but if you've got your drinks, cheers. Yeah, Ali McCoy's saying it as well. 2.5 minutes gone. Should have been 2-0 up. I know this Liverpool side. Half an hour of absolutely scintillating football, and if my memory serves correctly, we could fall off quite hard. So we need to take advantage of those. The next one's got to go in. What's that about? They've got a graphic come up on the screen saying from Opta saying live win probability, and it's saying Liverpool 57.7%. Well, what's that based on? It's not based on the first 3.5 minutes, is it? Surely not. But again, we don't need this. The commentator's curse is real, I'm telling you, but we don't need a reminder every 30 seconds in the build-up and during this game that Liverpool should be winning this game. And that's the thing, though. We can go on about form all you want, but the derby is a great equaliser. It doesn't matter, take the Liverpool Man U derby, for example. We've had terrible seasons, before Klopp showed up. Absolutely dreadful teams, but we've gone away to Old Trafford or at Anfield, and we've looked a different team because it is different. As much as Klopp or any of the players will try to downplay it, it's absolutely a bigger game. I feel like a lot of people feel like derbies don't mean as much anymore, maybe because you don't have as many homegrown players, but I think it's what the crowd makes of it. And I think that was demonstrated in the Liverpool Arsenal game. Everton are in it. Oh, it is cleared, and we might be able to counter. Thiago's on the ball. Plays it forward to Henderson. Trent's running. Plays it out wide to Salah. Plays a 1-2 with Trent. Crosses it middle of the field to Henderson. Taps it into the box. Thiago can't quite get it, but Digne puts it out for a Liverpool corner. Here in the Liverpool Arsenal game, sorry, there was the first half an hour was dead, and the crowd weren't really up for it either. Like I will admit that, it was quite a tame atmosphere for such a big game, and then centre of attention Mikel Arteta decided to pipe up, and that livened up the crowd, and that absolutely, you cannot change my mind, got the players playing as intensely as they did, and they pulled the ball into the net. The crowd. I'll just wait for this corner. Taking his time. Klopp's built a great team. He certainly has. Certainly has. Nothing comes of the corner. Yeah, I mean, if we want to get into things, that's, for me, why Klopp's right up there. Take away all the personal bias that you think I have, and I rightfully do, compared to certain other managers who've, walked into ready-made teams or teams with an unlimited budget. And I know Liverpool have spent money, but they've only spent it because they could recoup it. If you want to argue with me that net spend doesn't mean anything, you will not convince me otherwise. You have to spend. For Liverpool to spend, they have to sell. At least that's the model that the owners want to build. If it was my way, absolutely, we'd go out and buy Mbappe and Haaland, Bellingham, but they're not necessarily football fans. They're sporting people. Oh, save from Pickford there. Salah scuffed his shot, really. It's played in by Mane just outside the 6-yard box, about 10 yards out. Yeah, just straight at the keeper, really. Gets down quickly and saves it. Take a drinking. A cheers. Yeah, if I had it my way, we'd spend all that money. But, Klopp knew what he was coming into. I don't think he would have taken the job if he wasn't happy with the idea that he couldn't buy who he wanted. And he's perfectly used to that. Dortmund, where he essentially made his career, made himself recognised around the world, didn't have a budget at all. And it was predominantly homemade players or, really carefully scouted cheap players. And in a sense, that's, well, it's not what he's had to do at Liverpool. But because they've been able to sell so well, thanks to Michael Edwards, and also, some of the players that we just had, like Coutinho, who paid for Van Dijk and Alisson pretty much. Mane's money might be in. He's gone, taken it out wide. Everton have come back. Henderson, he scored. I'm not celebrating because Mane looked like he was offside in the build-up. So excuse the tame reaction. Mane looked like he was offside. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Do you reckon Klopp will stay for another 5 years? That's all we want for Christmas, mate. Another contract extension. Just wait to see this. I don't know if Mane was offside there. When it's played over from Hendo, he's already behind their line and taps it wide, Mane. So I'm not 100% sure, but it's a fucking brilliant take from Henderson. What a goal that is. That is brilliant. He's taken out everyone and curled it around the keeper into the left-hand post. That no one's saying anything about a VAR check. So I'm going to assume it's been given. I mean, seeing Henderson score that gave me PTSD of that 2-2 draw we had last year when Van Dijk and Thiago were injured. He scored that winner in the last minute of that, and that got ruled out for offside. And I think it might have even been Mane then as well. But no, Liverpool 1-0 up. So you didn't really get much of a reaction there because I was dreading the worst. But come on. And now Henderson's won the ball back in the middle third. Salah's out on the right wing. Tries to play it back for Trent, but his ball isn't quite good enough. And Digne is able to clear it down the left-hand side. Now Richarlison's got it. But, oh, fuck off. Richarlison goes down under a challenge from Henderson. Probably was a foul, but I don't like that man. I really do not like that man. Yeah, sorry, getting back to your question, Kris. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Gerrard managing Liverpool one day. I think that's most Liverpool fans' wet dream, you know. Liverpool managed to get the free kick clear. Might be a chance to counter. Jota plays it a bit too wide for Mane. And he's lost it. Yeah. Do I see him signing for another 2-3 years on top of his current contract? I feel like he's someone who will step out at the right time. You know, if we want to get all really sort of over the top with it, he's almost the man who got us back, who's taken us back to the top, and you know he's going to leave on his own terms, kind of thing. And in a romantical way, you'd hope that the next person who comes in can just pick right up where he left off. I know that with Alex Ferguson, not to talk about United too much, but you're like that, Kris. He was fully ingrained throughout the club. The club was built on him. And whilst that's similar with Klopp, with Ferguson, it's so much longer, years and years. And he is an absolute god. And so is Klopp again. But because of how long it was, and some of the teams he was able to win titles with was quite extraordinary, especially towards the end of his tenure. But that ended up being problems in itself for when he tried to hand it over to David Moyes. You know, it was a pretty average team that he left him behind. A few stars, but nothing that compares to these teams that are leading the pack today. So it was doomed from the start, and to just sort of leave, in the way that he did, not that he left on bad terms, but the starting 11 just wasn't all that. If you are watching anywhere else, such as Twitter, please do check this video out on YouTube and subscribe to the Liverpool FC Transfer Room. Follow them on Twitter as well for all the reliable news on Liverpool transfers, and for watch-alongs, tactical analysis videos, and pre- and post-match reactions. If you do that, that'll be brilliant. I see there's 3 of you here at the minute. If all 3 of you go and subscribe, we'll get along just fine. Jota, Trent end of the box. Oh, edge of the box, sorry. Saved by Pickford and out for another corner. And I feel like we're all over them at the minute. But I'd like a couple more goals, not just one. I'd like a couple more before we get too excited. Hopefully I can celebrate the next one, because I won't think it was offside. I was convinced he was offside, and he wasn't. So completely wrecked it for me. Corner's cleared again. I must say, our corner routines, don't know what to say about them, because we do score. I feel like we've got Over last week, there was a stat that we've got like one of the best records this season for scoring from set pieces. I don't know if that's corners as well, but we get loads of corners in a game. We've given it away here in a bit of a dangerous area. A lot of players are back now, and that's going to be a free kick outside. Oh, he's given a free kick the other way. Oh, it looked like Robbo brought down Townsend there just on the right side of the box. Oh, get out. Townsend thrown himself to the floor. How embarrassing. That is... I know you're trying to win for your team, but how can you go home to your wife and kids and say you're a man when you've done that on national television? I don't know. We'll never know. I guess we'll never know. And he's rightfully booked for a yellow card. Disgusting. Disgusting. The worst thing we can do is just let them grow in confidence. At this point, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. We're starting to play a few stray passes, and that's worrying. That is a worrying thing. I need Salah to get a goal, and I need Trent to assist it. That'll be tidy for my fantasy league. Oh, Kris again, mate. Thank you so much. So Reece James or Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's better? Everton with a half chance, but cleared by Trent for one of the first Everton corners, I think, of the game. And this could be an interesting one. I mean, for me, it's Trent all day. All day. And the reason I say that, I don't have any stats to hand. I don't have exact figures or tactical analysis to hand. Maybe I could prepare that for another video. But I'll say this. When you talk about who the best right back in the world is, and you're looking to compare, who do you tend to compare that player to? You know, if you're looking at another player, my mind's gone blank. But if we say a Kieran Trippier, if someone was to wrongly argue that he was one of the best in the world, do you really think they'd be saying, yeah, but is he better than Reece James? 9 times out of 10, that person's going to be asking, is he better than Trent Alexander-Arnold? Because he is the benchmark. Same with Van Dijk. You know, Ruben Diaz, Emerick Laporte from Man City. No one could just say they were the best. They had to drag Virgil into it because deep down they know he's the best. And yet he's had that injury. So in my eyes, that doesn't remove him from being the best. Maybe someone's had a better season because they've actually played a full season. But he's still the best. And that's what, you know, football has become so short-sighted nowadays. Salah's away. Oh, fucking beautiful. Salah, 2-0. I haven't even updated the scores yet. Oh, my God. It's 2-0. 2-0 to the Redmen. And that was really easy. Ali McCoy's just whispering it in my ear. That was super easy for Liverpool. And, you know, at this rate, Everton are going down without a fight. Really. The commentator's saying some of the Everton fans are leaving already. If that's true, that's a banter club. That's a banter club for you. It's a brilliant goal. Another one to add to his portfolio. I mean, he's miles clear and he's got so much space and time. And that's, you know, last season or the season before, a lot of times those are the kinds of goals that he would muck up. But he's just he's just different gravy this year. He hasn't had a bad season with us at all, but this one's absolutely just incredible. The numbers, the rates, and I suppose that's worth talking about. Really, I still feel like he's a massively underrated player. If he was Saladinho, would he have come 7th in the Ballon d'Or? I feel that's a serious conversation that we need to have. People say that he's not a technical player, and I saw some dumb man on TikTok saying that that's where I get all my clever football opinions from. This guy saying if he had a choice between Bernardo Silva and Mo Salah, he'd pick Bernardo Silva, and he even admitted that Salah's the better finisher, but then tried to argue that Bernardo Silva's the better player because he's more technical and Salah's not technical. Like, I struggle to really believe that people think that for any other reason than the fact that he's not a South American or a European player, like Spain, Italy, that kind of thing, or even Germany or Portugal, or a South American wonder kid or something like that. There's definitely some sort of unconscious bias playing in there. Not to get too deep, but absolutely, if he was Saladinho, he'd be in the top 5, top 3 for the Ballon d'Or easily. Headed over again. We've got a lot of corners, so if you're a betting person and you were looking at corners, you're probably in if you chose a high result, because it's only the 21st minute and we've had like 8 or 9 corners already, and it's another one that will be whipped in. Oh, we've only had 3 corners. Oh, that's embarrassing. I was convinced we had loads. Bloody hell. Had 3 corners. Will Smith, so much for my prediction. Yep. Yeah, now I'm going to come out and say that I always believed. I never thought I knew we were going to batter them. I never thought there was a chance that they would upset us. Commentator's curse. In saying that, we are only in the 22nd minute, and we did throw away a 2-goal lead against Atletico. It's not quite the same. I won't put Everton on the same pedestal of Atletico Madrid as much as I hate them. I feel like I hate Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone more than I hate Everton. Because at the end of the day, the Merseyside derby is the friendly derby. And I know that in the last few games and throughout history, they have been a bit twattish with, trying to injure players. Definitely somewhat on purpose. Not necessarily premeditated before the game, but you can't tell me that most of those challenges were to try and hurt the opposition rather than get the ball. But I still don't hate them. Maybe because I feel sorry for them a bit. I'm not even trying to banter them at this point. Like, I do genuinely feel sorry for Everton. They just can't seem to catch a break, no matter how much money they throw at it, no matter who they get in charge. Ancelotti, Benitez. They're getting these world-class managers and some, decent players to go along with them. But having said that, I do think that Benitez is a quality manager, and I think if he can't make a success out of a team, I think you have to look at the team and the types of players in it. And it's obvious that he needs some support in the January window. And before today, they're only 3 points off United, who are 8th or 9th. But they're also only 5 points from the relegation, I believe. So it's still very early in the season, I guess. But it's quite it's a fast-paced game, as you'd expect. It's relatively end-to-end. There's not much control. We're not trying to slow things down at all by the looks of it, which I'm more than happy with. We need another goal. And I'll say that if we go to 3-0, we need another goal. We've almost reverted back to our 2017-18 vibes. Just no defense, just vibes. Oh, almost had a beach ball incident there. There's another ball came onto the pitch, and Mane's almost hit it and went in. Crossed in. José jumps over it, plays it back out to Thiago. It's blocked there. They might break away, but Thiago's in there with a solid tackle to get it back to Alisson. And we go again. We go again. This does not fucking slip. He's played it straight to Pickford. So we'll have to wait to go again. Again. Again, if you are watching on Twitter, please do feel free to come along and join so you can get your comments in on YouTube. That's the LFC transfer room. We're live. So come along, join us, join me and Kris and Will. Get your comments in so we can have a chat about the game. If you comment, I will respond to it. Whilst you're here, leave a like. Do subscribe to the channel if you're not already so you can get more content like this, but also all your transfer news related to LFC, to the Mighty Reds, and some tactical analysis, some pre and post-match reactions as well. Everton with a little bit of an attack going, but it's cleared again, and they'll recycle it back out onto the right side. This Townsend might be looking to get a cross in. It's being held by Thiago, and he does give away a free kick out by the touchline. So they will have a chance to whip a ball into a potentially dangerous area here. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But they haven't offered too much. I think they've only really got something out of our sloppiness, which seems weird to say when we're 2-0 up inside half an hour. But, you know, our passing hasn't been its crisp best at this point. Still some sloppiness creeping in. Not sure what that is. That's nerves, but they do cross that in, and it's embarrassing. They've got 4 or 5 players waiting on the near post, and the ball's gone into the back post where there's 4 or 5 Liverpool players just waiting to head it away. Just bizarre. Just bizarre. So we're over halfway through the first half now. 17 or so minutes to go. Liverpool 2-0 up. And we're looking pretty comfortable. I mean, this is probably the brightest patch that Everton have had. They've in terms of possession, not in terms of chances. Again, not much coming out of it. Thiago's giving away another foul. He's going to need to be careful. Because although I always think of Thiago as, like, you know, the calm instigator, you know, the deep-lying playmaker, just spraying balls out for fun. But he has got an aggressive side to him, but he doesn't seem able to tackle without going through the player first or catching the man in a bad way. And he does need to watch that. I remember in his first season, he came off the bench a few times, and more times than not, he picked up a yellow really quickly from a not particularly needed challenge either. Like, again, this one was in the middle third, and they weren't going anywhere, and now they whip it in. It's gone back out wide. Nothing comes of it, but they are still in our third. And Trent manages to win it back, and now it's forward with Jota. He's running. It might be intercepted. He's brought down, but the referee doesn't give anything for that. And possession turns over once again. How is everyone tonight, though? I haven't asked yet. Is everyone doing okay? Halfway through the week. And it's that time of year where if you're halfway through the week, you've more than likely got a game on. Do you have a drink for the midweek game? Is it worth it? The potential if things spiral out of hand? I rarely have a drink, but I think on this occasion I'll treat myself because scary doing a watch along for the first time. Jota's down injured. To interrupt my tangent. Jota's down and injured, and it looks like there will be a yellow card. So for Gray, haven't shown a replay yet, but we shall wait and see. Here we go. It's one of those. If you're looking at it by the rules of the book, it's one of those where he has come in really uncontrolled, to be fair. He's come in really uncontrolled, and his studs are up. So yellow cards. I mean, to be fair, although it would give us a massive advantage, I'm happy with that. It wasn't so... Luckily, it didn't impact him so bad, and his foot wasn't planted, and I feel like that's probably what saved Gray from being potentially in trouble with VAR there. Jota's really not happy, and I'm not surprised. If he had if his foot was planted and he came in at a slightly different angle, that's they're still going on about it, so I'm not sure. They said VAR's not looking at it. Josh, thanks for coming along and leaving a comment. How far will Liverpool go in the Champions League? I think we'll win it. I think we will win it. I think we win something this year. I've just got that feeling. And Salah's the one who gives me confidence because of his form, and he just looks like he's ready to take on the world in order to get some silverware after missing out last season with all the injuries in defence. I think the Premier League is going to be very, very, very difficult with Chelsea and Man City. Just I know Chelsea had a bit of a blunt performance on the weekend, but they are looking pretty unstoppable, really. And Man City, again, they'll just quietly go about their business, bloody putting 5 past bottom table fodder. And they'll dominate other top 6 teams off the park in certain games. So it is going to be difficult. We can't drop many more points. We've drawn a lot. We can't do that anymore. So we have to go on a big winning run to stand much of a chance. But in the Champions League, it's different. It's knockout football. You can do... Things can happen very quickly. All of a sudden, 1 minute you're in the last 16. 4 games later, and you're staring at a semi-final, and the final's just within your reach. So, and with the teams that are in it currently, again, I could easily see another all-English final. The Spanish teams aren't really at the races. Real Madrid could sneak deep into the competition. I haven't seen too much from them this season to suggest they'll be favourites to go and win it. And then you've got Bayern Munich, I suppose. They've got a few more aging players. Thomas Muller just gets older and older. Lewandowski's pushing it a bit, but, he was in Ballon d'Or contention, so can't knock him too much for being an old guy. But then I think Man City get very close to the final again, and they'll fancy their chances to, again, go one step further than they did previously. So we'll have to see. But no, I fancy us in the Champions League. I'd be disappointed if we didn't at least get to the semis this year. Yeah, it was disappointing against Real Madrid last time. We just looked so scared of them in the first leg for no reason. And then the year before that with Atletico and Adrian's antics, I don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. Any transfers happening to Liverpool in January? Do you know what I'd love to? As a member of the LFC transfer room, I'd love to give you some breaking news, but I haven't looked too much into it at this point, but I don't see us signing anyone in January. apart from, the Van Dijks, the board has been quite unwilling to spend halfway through a season. And if they see, they come back from America and see that we're in the last 16, having won all of our group games potentially, and that we're still well in for winning the title and certainly getting top 4, there's no reason for them particularly to look to invest any more money into it. So I wouldn't place any bets on it. There'll be a shit ton of rumours flying about, as there always are. We'll be linked to every player under the sun during that transfer window, right up until the minute it closes on Sky Sports with Jim Waite. With Jim Waite, it's all right. That was terrible. But yeah, I don't see us signing anybody. Kris. Go on then. Go on then. Yeah, I'll hang about. I'll hang about and do that with you. We'll try and keep it short, eh? No, it's fine. I'll be on. I've got everything set up and it's a nightmare to put away, so any excuse to delay doing that. I'm gonna leave that one up until there's another comment. I'll leave that one up because that's what I am. That is what I am. We're 10 minutes from half time now. The game's settled down a little bit more. I think that Jota tackle has fired up some players, but has also just slowed down the game a little bit. So hopefully we can build. No, unsuccessful cross from Trent there. Hopefully we can build something and see how it goes. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's another comment. Bollocks. Got to get rid of it now. How do you feel about Salah? Oh, shit. Oh, I missed that. And now it's 2-1. And that's it. The game will swing. 8 minutes before half time. We couldn't hold out a little bit longer. Two spread at the back. That's Trent. Trent's got to be covering that, I think. We need to get a better angle of it. But Matip gets drawn across by the run from Richarlison, I think. And there's just so much space for Gray, I think, to run into. And Trent's just not too quick on it. And now they've got a free kick. Thiago's got his yellow cards. And it's quickly, I'm not unraveling, I'd say, but it's swinging very quickly. Thiago, someone needs to get hold of Thiago and tell him to calm down. That's the third foul he's given away. It's just needless, absolutely needless, especially right now. Just getting the crowd more and more on side. Not surprised. As I said, 2017-18. No defense, just vibes. Yeah, they haven't looked in really, and just like that, it's 2-1. Henderson's down. We've got a free kick. I will get to your question once I've calmed down. Once the game's calmed down a little bit with Josh, just don't want to miss anything. So I missed a goal. Missed a poxy goal because of you. Matip headbutted the back of Richarlison, and he's down. Both of them are down. There's a bit of a gap in the game. No, I feel like he should have been higher. I was saying it earlier. I think if his name was Saladinho, I think it would have been higher. Top 5, top 3. I don't think he should have. I don't think. I'm not disappointed that he didn't win it. I think Lewandowski was probably my favourite to win it. I'm not surprised Messi won it. I'm not going to argue that the best player in the world doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or. Jorginho, that man, Twitter campaigned his way into Ballon d'Or contention. I don't care that he was in those teams that won the Euros and the Champions League. He wasn't the best player in any of them. He wasn't instrumental in either of those teams. He did not deserve to be as high as he was. Absolutely not. And without that push on Twitter, he wouldn't have been. No one would have thought about it. Mate, yeah, he'd be on the list, but barely in the top 10. Barely in the top 10. You just need to calm it down now. It's all kicking off. Get through the next 4 or so minutes plus added time. Just need to calm it down. We haven't tried to do that at all. You know, we haven't pushed up a gear to try and get the third, but we haven't tried to control the game either. We've kept it very open. And I can only think that was a tactical decision to try and invite Everton out. But Everton haven't looked like they've wanted to sit deep. So I think we should have just tried to keep it a bit more compact, control it. But we haven't done that. And it's not even, they're not even drawing with us. It's still 2-1. We're still in the lead. Yeah, they've replayed the goal and it is poor. It's poor from Trent. He's just left it way too open. Matty maybe's rushed too quickly because Richarlison was running out wide, so he wasn't in an imminently dangerous position to need to sprint across and leave that gap. And he hasn't really indicated to Trent beforehand that that's what he's going to do. It just looks like he's sort of pissed off. And yeah, there's just a massive hole in between our centre-back and the wing-back. And Gray's just run right through there. So another 3 minutes left of the first half. Everton 1, Liverpool 2. If you are watching on Twitter, please do come across to YouTube. We're having a great time in the comments. Ask any questions and I'll definitely answer them. Get you up on the big screen and I'll answer them for you. Or we can even start a conversation, you know, a little bit back and forth. We like that. Make sure to subscribe to the LFC transfer room and like and share this watch along about. Try and get some more people involved. They're through again here. Oh, he's brought down. Gray's brought down by Fabinho, but he's given him another. I'd love to see this back. He's given the ref's given it to us again. He's given a free kick to us and booked Gray for diving. The Everton players are fuming, but let's see it. He was right by it, the ref. Oh. It's the exact. They've done it again. No contact whatsoever. Bravo to the ref. I mean, 2 cards for simulation in the first half of a game. I haven't seen the likes of that for a while. We could have used this referee in the Atletico games. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's all you've got to do. You do that a few times. And if they've managed to con the ref into a penalty or something, VAR just reverses it and you give them a yellow. And if they're on a yellow and they dive, that should be a second and they should be off. And it would soon stop. That's one of the main reasons VAR are in there. was to spot things that referees don't necessarily. And at long distances, it is hard to spot if a player's dived or not. In that instance, he was right next to the referee, which makes it even more stupid that he tried it. But no, bravo to the ref for not just giving a free kick our way, which I've seen happen a lot as well. They just give a free kick, but it's a yellow card offence. You can't simulate like that. It's trying to con the ref. Henderson's in here. He crosses it. Mane saved. Coleman's got it, and he'll look to clear. He does get it out to an Everton player. They might be on the counter attack here. Just before I get to your next question, Josh, thanks, mate. Entering 3 minutes of the added time in the first half here. I'm first to leave Liverpool, Salah or Mane. It's going to be a sad day. It's going to be a very, very sad day when either of them leave. I have a feeling. So I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day actually, because they're both in line for contract extensions, and they're both, getting into like the limits of their prime years, kind of thing. Like they're both turning 30. I'm not sure. Honestly, I have no idea if Klopp would even entertain selling either of them ever, and then it would just be a case of if they want to leave. Me personally, if I had to get rid of one of them, I'd probably say Mane. Jamie Redmond, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but Salah is the better producer for us and has been for a while. It's nothing personal to Sadio. He's a bloody wonderful footballer. But he has gone through long spells of being very frustrating, not looking like he can produce and help out the team. His first touch can look heavy a lot. And he looks like he's running with the ball with nowhere to go kind of thing. He's just tried to play a high kick, and the referee hasn't given anything for it. But it might be an offside there, yeah. So rolls over for Everton with another 30 seconds to go. They're pretty much bang on with the clock, actually. Look at that. Oh, yeah, we need to get in to half time. So we can see out these last 30 seconds. That'd be fantastic. I said we needed another goal. I said it. Go back and clip it up. I said we needed another goal. So until we get one, it's going to be bloody nervy. Oh, it's in the box. Oh, blocked by Matip. Blocked by Matip. And that's it. And breathe. It's half time. Everton 1, Liverpool 2. You can stop the clock there. We'll take that back to 45. But it was a good opening 30 minutes, and then slipped off a little bit, gave them a chance, and they took it. So it'll be interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me know your thoughts on the first half, anyone who's watching. As I said, we were in control for large portions of that game, and just wasn't quite good enough. Let them back in, and we'll have to. I don't think Klopp will change many things in the halftime break. If I'm being honest, he always leaves it to the second half. So I don't expect any changes. There's not much I would change, especially with our bench. Sorry, there's not many players that I'd think, oh yeah, they can come on and control the ball, control the possession, keep the ball for us. Let's just double check who was on the bench and see if there was anybody that could come on. my memory serves me correctly, I don't think there was. We've got Minamino. So I'm thinking midfielders. We've got Minamino, Chamberlain, Morton. Oh, Milner. I think I'll look to bring Milner on, I must say. I think Milner probably come on in the 70th minute, regardless of if there's another goal or not. I think that'll be in the plan. Probably he probably needs to take Thiago off. He's got a yellow card already. So as much as I love watching him play, he will need to come off quite soon, because that'll be what the crowd are baiting for. Anytime Thiago goes near an Everton player, they'll be asking for that second yellow. So we'll have to wait and see who's going to get the next goal. Well, I'm hoping we come out with I'm hoping we come back out with a bang. Klopp works his magic, get us up and going again, get us cranking a second gear. Although I must admit, I haven't seen that from us too many times, like at all, under Klopp, and I might be missing I might be missing a big one. Now, I know it happened in Barcelona with the Barcelona game. Wijnaldum came on, but that's very different. Being looking for that Champions League Anfield magic versus a Wednesday afternoon at Goodison Park's not quite the same, and we are winning, so there's not quite that impetus to risk it all to go out and score that next goal. So I don't know. This game could swing very easily. They won the back end of that first half, and unless we alter something, trying to slow the game down a little bit, they could just as easily get the next goal. Really, I can't be too much more definitive than that. The Chelsea game's 1-1. Playing bad. Who were Chelsea playing again? I forgot. Terrible from me. I heard there was an incident. Oh, they're playing Watford. Bloody hell. It's a good job we played Watford when we did. Because Ranieri seems to have got them ticking a bit now. I mean, I probably said that a little bit too early. They could now get spanked 5-1, but no, we took it. We played against him just at the right time before he could sort of really get his ideas across to the players, because they seem like a good little unit now, and slowly climbing the table. If we have a look, they're going to be bottom of the table now. Said that, aren't they? Yes, they've climbed. They're 4 points clear with a game in hand at this current moment. But I wouldn't be surprised if they stay up now, because he looks like he's got them working well. Do you think Liverpool win a trophy this season? I think we have to. Heck, mate. I think we've got to win a trophy this year. Not that we were expected to win one last year after what happened to our defence and the amount of injuries we had. I think everyone knew the kind of season that was. As soon as that happened, we were grinding out a top four, which was bloody brilliant. Like, that was almost as good as winning something, the way that it happened and how important it was to everybody. But this season, we really need a decent cup run. We're in the quarters of the Carabao Cup already. I know that's not the most prestigious one, but it's another potential cap in Jurgen's armory and in his potential Liverpool dynasty. An FA Cup run would be up there. I'd love us to go on and win an FA Cup. But I was saying earlier with Josh's comment, I get that back up there. I really think that we stand a good chance in the Champions League. We're not necessarily, I'm not going to argue we're necessarily the best player for player team in the Champions League. I mean, if I'm honest, Chelsea, Man City, probably player for player in the depth of their squads, they probably are better than us, but it's a knockout competition, and we do just, not to get too romantical, but we have that magic, and I think that we can and we will bring that out this year. I really hope so. And as I said, I'll be disappointed if we don't reach the semis of the Champions League, but in the Carabao or the FA, we need to be. We need one of those trophies, I think. and then anything else would be a bonus. And I don't think that's me being too safe or under, or whatever the word is, under ambitious. That's it. I don't think I'm being too under ambitious. I think the league is going to be incredibly tight. I mean, it's the first genuine 3-horse race that there's been for a few good years. You know, I really do believe it's between, unless anything dramatic changes, it's between Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. And that's why psychologically it's so important that we do win this game, because with a game in hand, it takes us top of the league at the moment, at least, with Chelsea drawing. So yeah, that's psychologically huge. Going into, you know, the 1st of December, going into this massive busy period, that is a huge psychological advantage. The league is never won at Christmas, and we bloody showed that in the 2013-14 season with the infamous Gerrard slip, which I know you boys in the chat are desperate to bring up in some way, I'm sure. But you know, I remember that Christmas very clearly. It was us and Arsenal, and I think we were top for both Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and everyone was saying, well, there's never ever in the history of football been a team who are top at Christmas or New Year's and haven't gone on to win the league. So it's in the bag for Liverpool. They're going to win it, and fucking the rest is history. The rest is history, and that's why I never get too ahead of myself anymore. You know, as much as I'd love to be someone who's super, super confident in their convictions on, you know, we're going to win everything, I can't bring myself to be that blind to the fact that so many things can go wrong and so many things can change so quickly. And just, you know, look at this game, 2-0 and cruising, and not for the first time this season we've let a team back into it a little bit, and it just makes the whole thing particularly nervy. So we'll have to see. Should be just be a couple more minutes before the second half begins. So I'm going to leave my post quickly and pour myself another drink. But if you ask any more questions, I will be back very quickly to answer them. Give me a minute and time it, and don't leave anybody. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm back. Thank you for sticking around. Pardon me. Just had to get a little refill. I was developing a thirst. But I'll be back just in time for the start of the second half. Not back on yet, but it should be underway shortly. So how are we all feeling, Liverpool fans and non-Liverpool fans that we have in the chat? I'm feeling about our own individual games. I think I will be on the post-match reaction coming straight after kickoff as well. So do stay about for that. It'll be on a different stream, but it should be pretty soon after this one. So as soon as that one ends, the next one should roughly be beginning. So if you'd like to stick around for that, for some post-match reaction, not just from myself, you don't have to listen to just me for 90 whole minutes and then another 15 or 20. There'll be other people on it as well to have a proper chat about it. But we can have a chat in here for now. If you've got anything you'd like to say at all about this game or about football in general, please do say it in the chat. And again, if you're watching on Twitter, make sure you come over onto YouTube so you can get involved in the chat. We're having a great time. Make sure you subscribe to the Liverpool FC Transfer Room channel. Share this video about. So Man City are winning 2-0, so they'll be top. So forget that. They'll be top today. I wasn't sure if they were playing. West Ham winning again. They're having a brilliant season, aren't they? Really. You know, I think if you gave David Moyes the Man U job now, it'd be a different story. As I said, Alex Ferguson, for however good he was, he left that team in a pretty bad shape to attempt to hand over successfully. If you give David Moyes, Varane, Maguire, apparently sometimes he can be good, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Matic, Donny van der Beek, if you actually start him, Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho. I'm telling you, he does great things with that team. And if that was the team he was given, he'd be in a job. He'd be in a job, and they'd be doing much better than they were under Ollie. What would your best past and present 11 be? Ooh, juicy question. Juicy. I might need some help. On that one. I think Salah goes into it. I think Trent goes into it. I think Virgil goes into it. Gerrard's in there, obviously. Up top, I don't think... It's a tricky one. Torres would have to go in there just because he was just pure magic. That's the Liverpool team that I kind of grew up with. You know, Istanbul was where it all started, but Torres and Gerrard tearing it up most weeks, some weeks in the Premier League. That's the Liverpool that I grew up on. Grew up on Suarez too, but I do have some reservations. You know, it's an odd one with Suarez because he was done for racially abusing another player. You know, I don't quite buy all that language context stuff. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. I don't really buy it, and it was embarrassing when we wore those T-shirts, wearing those "We support you" with Suarez on them before a game. I mean, that was embarrassing. That was a low point. And I know that, you know, Kenny Dalglish, who was the manager at the time, he regrets it as well, because he rather naively asked Luis Suarez, you know, the serial winner, serial cheater. He asked him, like, "Tell me the truth. Did you say anything?" And he categorically said no. And that was as it was later found, a complete lie. And he couldn't even, in confidence, tell, you know, a legend like Kenny something like that. And so we were made to look stupid as well. But again, that was naive on whoever organised that part as well. Just shouldn't really do things like that before a verdict has been reached. I know it's all about innocent before proven guilty, but you don't have to. You just get on with it. You don't flaunt undying support for that person just because they told you it didn't happen. You wait, and then you act accordingly to whatever the verdict is. So, yeah, I wasn't one of those fans who just kind of got over that straight away. And as much as he was a magical footballer, it just always left a sour taste, especially him leaving and then bloody coming back with Barcelona and celebrating the way he did. I ain't got a problem with celebrating against your former club, but there's levels. There's levels to this game. You don't have to take it as far as he did. I mean, yes, it's a semi-final of the Champions League. It was the first leg, and he's out here celebrating like he just won the Copa America for Uruguay. So I don't get all the sympathy for him for when he got booed off Anfield either with Atletico. But sorry, yeah, I've just kind of dodged your question. It's tricky. I could name some players who'd be in it, but I'd need a bit longer to think about it to name a full starting 11, past and present. And I'll be honest, I didn't get to grow up with the greats of the 70s and 80s, so it would be unfair to pretend that they didn't exist. Really. Right now, I'll tell you what, we'll do the best 11 of players that I've ever seen. So Alisson's in goal. There's going to be a lot of players that are in this team. Alisson's in goal. Trent's on the right. Robbo's on the left. Verge in the middle of the back two. Yeah, I'd put Carragher there. And then the defence, Mascherano. No, sorry. What are we doing? We're doing a 4-3-3. No, it'd have to be Fabinho again. So another current player, Fabinho. But it's not without reason. It's not like a recency thing. This is the team that won the league. These are players that won the league for the first time in 30 years. They did what Torres and Suarez and even the great Steven Gerrard couldn't do. They won us our first league title in 30 years, our first Premier League title. But we are back underway. Bloody hell. I was so engrossed in it. I was so engrossed in that question. So if you've got any more, please do send them my way. Sadio Mane's in. It's cleared. Yeah, we're on the 49th minute just about. Oh, I was taken away. I was in another world. I was looking directly at the screen, but I wasn't paying attention. We'll park it. We'll park that for now. I don't want to miss anything else. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the questions, guys, and the comments. Keep them coming in. I'm having a good time. I won't be saying that if Everton score another goal, but currently earning 3 points. I'm having a decent time. Unlucky from Sadio. One of the Everton defenders managed to get back and put a block in. But yeah, we've started relatively brightly as far as the first 4 minutes go. Aston Villa have got a goal back. Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa have got a goal back against Man City. We could do with them pulling something out of the bag. I won't get my hopes up. Yeah, Man City are just a different animal. They can... you can score a goal and think, brilliant, now we'll have a bit of momentum. But they can just completely sap it out, sap the game out, sap the life out of whatever team they're playing against. Even in our game, 2-2, it was a bloody brilliant game. And Salah's goal, I will never forget that. But we were absolutely knackered by the end of that game. Man City were too, because we gave them a good run for their money. But they, for large parts of that game, they had us running around ragged. Just playing it around the edge of their 18-yard box, but it does go back to Pickford. It's that man, Thiago. I wonder when he'll look to take him off. I think he has to be the first substitution. Nothing about his ability, but that yellow card does worry me. And he put in 2 challenges before that were completely unnecessary. So even if he puts in a necessary one and gets it slightly wrong, he could be gone. And then the game really does swing. Richarlison's got it, plays it out wide to Gray. Moves into the box. Matty plays it over the bar. Is Klopp your favourite Liverpool manager? Yeah, yeah. Again, it's that recent. It might be recency, but he is Mr. Liverpool. Everybody in the world, Liverpool fan or not, knew that he was a perfect appointment for Liverpool. I can't think of one like serious person who really thought that he wasn't at least suited to Liverpool. Not necessarily he was guaranteed to be a success, but suited to Liverpool in his demeanour, the previous clubs he'd been at, and the way that he got respect from them, the way he gets the crowd going, the way he sort of understands the culture of these types of teams. I mean, hell, Dortmund even have the same song as us, "You'll Never Walk Alone." So we already knew that message. I just don't think anyone else within my lifetime comes close. Benitez will always have a special place in Liverpool fans' hearts. Salah just plays it over the bar there. He'll always have a special place in people's hearts for, the FA Cup that night in Istanbul. And it was unfortunate the way it ended with him. Brendan as well. I think he gets a hard time. I mean, that was the most no defense, just vibes we've ever been. And of course, there was a reliance on Suarez's magic, but he was our striker. Yeah, that's what they're there for. And I do like him. People say he was too arrogant, or he is too arrogant, but I thought he was always well aware of the size of the club. He never thought of himself as bigger than the club. So some of the way that he spoke to the youngsters, like that whole thing with Raheem Sterling, I'm not quite sure about. There's that video where he points at Sterling and he's like, "If you say steady to me one more time, you're on the first flight home." And that was a terrible impression, I know. I'm not Darren Farley, all right. But I didn't even hear him say steady. I'm not sure he did. And he tried to protest his innocence, Sterling, but Rodgers was trying to assert dominance. And he wasn't having it. It was a bit weird. And of course, yes, Sterling in the end left anyway. But no, I had a lot of time for Brendan. And, it was sad that he went, but, you can argue that if he'd done much better in that final season with Lambert and Barini and Balotelli up front, who knows what could have happened. We wouldn't have got Klopp, and then I don't think we would have won the league because I think there was too much of a rebuild needed. And I don't think the same manager who came so close to the league could have done that because the expectations would just be so high even without Suarez. Yeah, so it looks like we've got a free kick. Good 35 yards out, I think. And the Everton players have moved the wall forwards, it looks like. The ref's not taking anything from them, and that's good to see. But yeah, it looks like Big Verge might be taking it. Thanks for addressing that for me. I hadn't noticed yet. But it looks like Salah's stepping up as well. I'd be surprised. Van Dijk does play it, and it's crap. Not quite from his Celtic days, that one. Oh my God. Oh, Thiago with a volley from 25 yards out, and it whistles past the post. But yeah, that Virgil one was a little bit disappointing, I must say. Sammy Herpier over Carragher. Do you know what? That's actually a good shout. Never quite known how to take Carragher, whether he was like I'd never say he was like a true great of the Premier League necessarily. He's a great of Liverpool in his own way. I don't think he was ever world class. Sammy Herpier, you could argue that in his absolute prime, he was a lot closer to that kind of level. So yeah, you might be right. You might well be right, Kris. We're 10 minutes in now, and the game's continued much how it ended in the first half. End to end, quite a stretched game. Liverpool not really looking again to assert too much dominance. We're happy to let the game flow so that we can Richarlison's in here against Van Dijk. Blazes it miles over the bar. Herpia was a beast and a great leader. That's true. That is very true. I must admit, when that question came up, I did forget him. I hold my hands up, and I've just been reminded by a Man U fan about one of our top defenders in the league. So, yeah, that's shocking behaviour from me. But no, I agree. So Rondon's just coming off with what looks like a muscle injury there. Don't know if he'll be carrying on. Yeah, I'm interested. I feel like Milner will be the first choice. He likes a boring substitution, I guess you could call it. Nothing, and rightfully so. You know, he's the one who's won a Prem and a Champions League. Nothing too fancy. Just get on a James Milner to settle the game down a little bit, and then see what happens after that. I don't blame him. I mean, I wouldn't be desperate to bring on a Minamino right now, as much as I love him. Alisson grabs a hopeful cross from the right from Everton, plays it back out to Thiago. And I wouldn't be desperate to bring on, the Ox, I must admit, and Kris, yeah, Kris from this channel will be fuming that I say this, although he might be happy at the second part, but I wasn't a massive fan of Ox for a long time. People spoke a lot about his form in the 17-18 season, I think. Well, the year we first got to the Champions League final and didn't win it under Klopp. And I must say, I didn't see enough. I saw, tenacity and wanting to work as hard as you need to be a Klopp player. But for the longest time, and I know he had injuries, but for the longest time, I just never saw that. Really, I never saw that consistency. I never saw that true quality. When he came on, he always looked very lethargic and slow and behind the game. But now that he has had even 2-3 games almost in a row, he looks so much better for it. And I suppose that is just down to just the way he is, confidence levels, sort of feeling the flow of the game. A player like Thiago, sort of in a world of his own, can just come in after being 6 weeks out and be straight up to speed and just dominate a game from midfield. But that's not to say that, an Oxlade-Chamberlain isn't a great player. He just needs to bed in with the team and suss out the speed of things. A favourite Liverpool moment as a fan? Give us your top 3 moments so far. Woo! Do you know what? It's going to be a bit of a shocker, but number 3 probably has to be Istanbul 2005. And the only reason it's number 3 and not a number 1 is because I was a little baby at the time. As old as I look and as much wisdom as I look like I have, I was very young at the time. I wasn't too into football. It was 05 that got me into it, got me supporting the Reds. But no, it was... I only really took it in when I got the DVD for Christmas. I don't know if that makes me a real fan or not, according to some people. But I support them from the heart. So that was my number 3. Number 2. You know what? It's all recent stuff. Number 2 was Barcelona, because I didn't even get to watch that game, the Champions League comeback. I was with you, Julia. We were at your one of your dues. Is a cross coming in for Liverpool. Might be cleared away for another corner. Sadio Mane does play it out for another corner, so we can wait for that. But no, I didn't even watch the game. And just checking my Twitter every now and then, I saw straight away that we got that early goal, Origi, and I thought, oh my God, brilliant, but I'm missing it. And then I think I came out at just after half time and I thought, oh, still only 1-0. Like, we're running out of time here. Still got to get 3 more goals to get through straight away. And then put my phone away, come out, and bang, we're 4-0 up and the clock's just about to run out. I could not believe it. And there were other Liverpool fans there as well. And even just being on Twitter and seeing everyone's reactions and all the hype, you just sort of, you get that real adrenaline rush, and it almost like brings a tear to your eyes. Yeah, that's my number 2. And then number 1 is that Champions League win. Oh, there's a free kick outside the Liverpool box. Robertson looked like he was the last man. He only gets a yellow, luckily. But that's a good position. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, the ref's got it wrong. There. That's poor. The refs missed that one. Yeah, you're right, Kris. He's missed that one. He books them for 2 dives in the first half, but he's missed that one bad. Robertson doesn't touch him and picks up a yellow card. So, but if they scored directly from this free kick, VAR wouldn't bring it back, would they? And that's irritating, because I know it's a previous play, but that is where the goals come from a dive. But hey, hopefully it just bounces off the wall. I will come back to your question, Julia, and finish that off, but we're just going to see here. Woo! Bounces off the wall, out for a corner. So that's a corner. Townsend running across to take that. Yeah, no, my number 1 moment as a fan has to be the 2019 Champions League final. I was by the end of the game, I was absolutely pissed off my nut, and it was 1-0, and I was a nervous wreck because we scored so early on. Salah's won the ball. He's running through. You see him against Coleman in a pace. Yeah! Come on! 3-1 Liverpool. Salah again. Come on. Woo! What a man. The Egyptian king. The game is finished, Kris. I know you were talking about the dive earlier, but I think, don't want to call it too early, but I think that's the game set. Everton were just starting to look dangerous, and that's all they deserve after that dive. That's all they deserve. They thought they were in for a dangerous free kick. 2 minutes later, there's a red flare on the pitch. Take some pictures of Mo with that. He looks glorious. But it comes from the corner. It gets headed out, and I think it's Gray tries to pass it back to Coleman. Miscontrols it, and Salah's just in. Even with the ball, Coleman can't keep up, and he almost scuffs his shot. It's lucky. No, it's not lucky. It's world class and fully intentional from Mo Salah. It's a little bit of a tame effort, but it's just out of Pickford's reach and enough to go on the inside of the far post. And that's 3-1 to Liverpool in the 64th minute. And that now puts the game firmly back in our hands. And really, there's no excuse for cocking it up from this point onwards. I love that. I do love that, man. I absolutely love that. Captain of the FPL team as well. Come on. What a day it's turning out to be. Pickford's just gone absolutely flying now. I think Mane might have taken him out, so he's probably getting a booking. Wouldn't be surprised if that was a simulation, but I don't think it was, actually. He doesn't get a booking, so that's good. Right, sorry, before anything else interesting happens, just wrap up from Julia's question. So my favourite top moment was it's the 80 something. It's the 80 something minute in the Champions League final, 1-0 up against Tottenham. Crapping myself for the whole game, wondering what's going to happen, and a few JD and Cokes later, Origi does what Origi does, scores in the important moments, and I must admit I did collapse to the floor. Had a few tears in my eyes, tears of whiskey, tears that tasted of whiskey, and I let out a big cry. I shouted a lot as well. I know that's my top moment. I must say, Origi's goal in this fixture was certainly up there. I think for a lot of people. He only scores goals that need to be scored. If you are watching on Twitter, please do come across to YouTube, and we can get you in the chat. Have a little chat in the chat. Had loads of great questions so far from everyone who's watching. Thank you for that. Having a good time. And now we're a goal up. It should stay a good time. A good time till the very end. And I need to change the score because we're winning 3. God, I'm terrible. Someone came on and they didn't know what the score was. They thought it was 2-0 until just now. And it's now 3-1. I promise I'll get better at that. But it is Everton 1, Liverpool 3. Just in case there was any confusion. Now in the 68th minute, so another 22 to go, roughly. At the moment, not too much added time, I don't imagine. But we'll see. I'd love us to sort of crank it up a notch now. You know, we can afford to go for it without worrying about conceding an equaliser. We've got that 2-goal gap. On the other hand, I don't mind us just controlling it a bit more now. Doesn't look like there's any substitutions on the way either. Klopp likes his late substitutions. He likes from the 70th minute onwards. That's his time. Henderson whips in a ball, and a bit of miscommunication there between Pickford and his centre backs, and it's gone out for another corner. I'd love to see Big Joel bag himself a goal. I think he deserves one. What's everyone's thoughts so far in the respective games you're watching? If you're watching this one or you're watching another one, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Things are looking good. Let's just have a quick look at what that means for the league table, because Man City are still winning at the moment, and I imagine they will win. As much as I believe in Stevie G, it'll be a tough ask to get 2 goals against Man City and not concede another one. Yeah, so Man City is still 2-1 to the good at Villa Park. Leicester and Southampton are drawing 2-2. Long gone are the days of Leicester putting 9 past Southampton unanswered. Wolves and Burnley is finished 0-0. Sorry, Southampton, Leicester finished 0-0 as well. West Ham and Brighton finished 1-1. Neil Maupay with the 89th minute equaliser. That's disappointing. So let's have a brief look at the table at this point. West Ham still in the top 4, although Arsenal, just 1 point behind, do have a game to play. But apart from that, they're still in a very good position. Starting to lose pace on the top 3, who are breaking away now, forming their own little race, which we all suspected for a while. It's Chelsea on 33 points currently. Man City on 32 and Liverpool on 31. So in terms of the top three and the title, not much will change at the end of this. Game day, but all you can do is win. All you can do is win. Kris, Jota pushing Firmino? Question mark? Question mark? Yeah, you can't. Well, this is the interesting thing. I think he is, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans probably think he is. But we saw it with Robertson. He's quite adamant in who his starting players are when they're all fit. Tsimikas, in the games he's had, he couldn't do much more, if I'm being honest. There's not much more he could do to prove that he should at least be in serious contention for the starting 11 in that left-back spot. But Klopp wasn't having it. And I imagine that must be a bit demoralising because he literally came out in a press conference and said, no, Andy Robertson is my number one left-back. And when you've just put in a string of good performances, that must be pretty demoralising, I imagine. But I don't know. That's where Klopp kind of comes into his own with his man management and making players feel like they're still involved and keeping them happy during times when they're on the sides. I mean, I imagine that's probably part of the reason why Oxlade-Chamberlain stayed so long. I was going to say Gomez, but Gomez is injured. So, yeah, I mean, I genuinely think Jota is pushing Firmino. He's been very quiet in this game, not going to lie. But he just scores. He scores a lot for us without necessarily being as involved in the rest of the game. And that's probably where he loses out in Klopp's eyes, is that he's not able to impact the game in the same way that Firmino can when he's at his best, which is something we haven't quite seen for a while. And he got his hat-trick against Watford, and we all hoped he pushed on, but injuries have sort of stopped that for a little bit. But no, I don't think it'll be too long before we see him back into the starting 11. Salah is out wide, looking to play a ball in, but he gets surrounded by Everton players, and they look to play out. Fabinho tries to win it back, but gives away a free kick just outside on the left of Everton's penalty area. So we've got about 17 minutes left in this game. And from this point, we should see it out. Don't forget to stick around and join us for the post-match reaction. It will most likely be me and a few others just hopping on that for a little chat about what we've seen today. And mainly the positives if things stay like this. Still no real signs of a... Oh, no, here we go. No, James Milner's coming on, and number 6, Thiago. Yeah, Thiago's coming off. Exactly what I predicted. Call me a magician. Call me a footballing expert. I know this game. There's levels, and I know this game. If you just joined, I got a substitution correct. The first substitution correct. So that makes me an expert. Thiago comes off. Probably a bit gutted to come off, but he can't be too surprised. He's been a lot better in this second half, but he did give away one too many fouls in that first half. He was just begging to be booked and get sent off, but we've managed to get him back in before that can happen, so he's fresh for the next game on Saturday. I think the game has slightly slowed down a little bit. Everton probably defeated in spirit a little bit. Liverpool content to play it around, not worry too much about being caught out. In possession, looking quite comfortable. So if you have been watching, don't forget to subscribe to the Liverpool transfer room for all of your Liverpool related transfer news, and also to stick around for more watch-alongs, tactical analysis of Liverpool and opponents, and also post and pre and post hype for each game. Yeah, Everton really struggling to get the ball, and there's a pitch invader who's I don't think he managed to invade the pitch actually, but he's being carried off quite aggressively by four police officers. I think he might have escaped. There's a rupture in the crowd. Alisson, there's a bottle on the pitch, and Alisson's kicked it, and it's slow-mo. He's kicked it, and I think he's got a bit too much power on it than he wanted, and it's ended up hitting somebody. And in super slow-mo, you can see him kick it, and straight away putting his hands up. Nothing in it, but the crowd making the most of it, as you would expect. 3-1 down. And I can't believe that was true. When the second goal went in, they were saying there was people leaving the ground already. I've never heard of that before. It was only in the 20th or so minute. I mean, even I wouldn't have said that the game was done at that point, and it wasn't. You know, they came back and looked bright for the last 15 minutes of the first half, and the first 10, 15 or so. Jota's in here. Oh! 4-1. 4-1 game. Game, set, and match. There's levels. There's levels to this game, and Everton cannot keep up. Jota with a beauty. He's receives the ball inside the box, so he's got his back to goal, and he spins his way through the Everton back line, and manages to power it into, well, above Pickford, little dinosaur, little T-Rex arms Pickford, Jordan T-Rex arms Pickford. And yes, an assist for Robbo, and it's too easy. It's just far too easy for Jota. The centre half's just spinned. I know it's Allen. Allen comes back trying to defend, and to quote Mark Goldbridge, it's like a bowling ball against poppadoms. There's no defence. He's still got a lot to do when he gets past, and I mean, Pickford, man. He should probably save it. He should save it, really. His hand's in the right place, but he's gone down when at the same time. And I know he's preempting like a shot to the far post, but I think in those situations you've just got to stand up, because a lot of people aren't aiming. They're just looking to smash it. They're going to smash it and just get it on target. So just stand up, make yourself big, and try and get lucky. But he's gone down trying to preempt it, and then managed to get his hand up, but it was little T-Rex arms, just wasn't high enough. And yeah, that time there was a big exodus. I saw that. So yeah, some left on 2-0, but a much larger quantity of left now that it's 4-1. I'll make sure I have changed the time. So going into the final 10 minutes, that should be that. I don't think we made any more substitutions, but I'll be hoping he looks to get someone off soon. I don't know what it is with Alisson, but his kicks don't look too convincing at the moment. So the goal scorers, Josh, it was It was Henderson. Henderson, that was it. Henderson got the first one, which I didn't celebrate because I was convinced it was offside, but it wasn't. Henderson got the first one. Then Salah got two. One in the first 20 minutes, and the second one after half time. Jota's in again here. Oh, he's appealing for handball. You're not going to get it. It wasn't inside the box either, so I don't think he'll be getting... I don't think VAR will give anything if it is a handball. But there's Salah, plays it into Mane, who brings it down. He's a bit too slow. Robertson, edge of the box. It's deflected back. Milner picks it up. Mane again on the inside left. Robertson's probably offside, but it rolls out for a goal kick. Anyway. So Jota's still complaining for a penalty, but I think... he's handballed it outside of the box, so you're not going to get anything for it anyway. Goal scorers, yep, and then Jota obviously picked up the last one, Josh. So yeah, Henderson at the start, then two for Salah, the mighty Egyptian king Salah, and Jota at the end. So now it's Henderson coming off, so that's Oxlade-Chamberlain coming on for the final 8 minutes or so. I'm just replaying that goal, and it's just one of those really satisfying ones where it just bends so perfectly into that inside the right side of the post. A bit of Michael Owen commentary there. He got it inside the post and he scored a goal. He took that throw in with his hands. He headed that with the facial parts of his body there. How much goals is that now for the season for Salah? So I think that takes him up to 13, which is miles clear of anyone else close. I think Vardy is in second, and maybe Dennis, the Watford player. I don't think that's right. But I think Vardy was up there. But no, he's got 13 now, so he's really starting to pull away, and he really, really wants that top goal scorer award. But he's just mentally on it. He's a mentality monster this year, and I think he could easily just be the one to take us to a bit of silverware, as long as he's able to stay injury free. I mean, you ever get that from a player? They're so convinced, or they just sound so determined and on it to win something. It's not like in a interview they're like, oh, hopefully we can challenge. They're like, no, I really want to win this award. And then when he goes and puts in these kind of performances and has as many goal involvements as he does, because he's at the top of the goals and assists chart, which is quite phenomenal. And we were the top 3 goal scorers. It was Salah clear at the top, and then it was Mane and Jota. That was it, tied for second and third. And then Salah's obviously top of the assists as well. Excuse me. But he's also got most assists, more than Trent, who's in second. I don't know if he picked up another one today, actually. No, it was Mane who assisted. It was Mane who assisted Henderson, and Robertson who assisted the Jota goal. Jota's in again here, but he just can't keep up on his feet. I think the Ballon d'Or was an absolute joke. What's your views on it? Yeah, I know you were disappointed. Oh, no, sorry. No, you weren't disappointed with the Mendy result, with the goalkeeping result. Yeah, I think I said earlier, Jorginho shouldn't have been anywhere near that top 10. Really, I think I get it. He's in those teams that won the Euros and the Champions League and the Super Cup. So obviously he's a good player. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Jorginho is crap. He's a good player, but he's Twitter campaigned his way into a Ballon d'Or contention. That's the only reason he was as high as he was on that list. There's been very few games I've ever watched and thought, wow, Jorginho really stood out there. He's not the best player in any of the teams he's been in that, certainly in that Chelsea team. He's not even the best midfielder at the club, let alone the best player. and Italy as well. He wasn't necessarily the standout player. Salah here trying to get another wonder goal, but his touch is a little bit too big. It's entering the final 5 minutes. So if you are joining us just now, as you can see, it's Everton 1, Liverpool 4. Henderson scoring inside the first 10-15 minutes, and Salah adding not too long after that. We were 2-0 up inside 20 minutes, and not quite in cruise control, wouldn't say. It's been quite an end-to-end affair, but we've certainly had more big chances than them. Salah scored again after half time, after a brief response at the end of the first half from Everton, getting a goal through Damari Gray, I believe it was. And then just about 10-15 minutes or so ago, Diogo Jota got his customary, at this point, Liverpool goal when he seems to start. And it's now 4-1. It'd just be nice. It'd be nice to grab another one, round it up to a nice solid 5. But if you, again, if you are just joining us, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Takumi Minamino will be our last substitution. I always forget because the Champions League is 5. It is 5 substitutions now, but the Premier League is still just 3. So Jota will come off. My throat's gone all tickly now. I haven't spoken this much continuously for ages. And Takumi Minamino is coming on. I do love that man. I really do love Takumi Minamino. I'm not here to argue about his footballing ability and whether he's going to become a Liverpool legend. I think we all know the answer. But that does not stop me from hoping that he bags a goal every time I see him. And it'd be nice if he could grab one here. I think the game might just peter out here in the last couple of minutes. Liverpool just playing it around the back. And Milner plays a bit of a sloppy ball here. And Everton have the chance to move forward, but they don't quite take that chance. And Liverpool able to get back into more of a shape. But Richarlison cuts in, plays a ball. Matip clears it. We're back to Everton in possession. Don't forget, just after this game finishes, we'll end it here and then move over to the post-match reaction. Kris will be on that with myself as well. Potentially some others. I'm not 100% sure. But for a more comprehensive analysis of the whole game, please do tune into that. We can take a proper look into the game as a whole, rather than just me waffling to myself. So Watford, Chelsea did finish 2-1. So up the Chelsea, I guess, for Josh in the chat. Thanks for all your questions, matey. Man City currently 89th minute. They're still 2-1 up against Aston Villa. Looks like Villa won't be able to do the impossible, unfortunately, and bag a result from there. Grealish has just come on to a round of boos, I believe. Aston Villa fans not too happy with his departure by the sounds of it. Salah tries a back heel in the box to set Mane free 1v1 on Pickford, but it doesn't quite come off and it is intercepted. Goodison Park is empty and quick now. More empty seats than full. With only 3 minutes to go. I can't say I blame them too much. Oh, my throat's so itchy. Minamino picks it up on the left, plays it back to Robertson. Yeah, I can't see another goal. I think it's looks like it's going to end this way, but I've had a great time. It's been brilliant chatting with everybody here. And if you are still here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. And we'll look forward to many more watch-alongs in future. But also, we do other stuff too. For all your transfer news, there's no one better, for Liverpool at least, to look at than the LFC transfer window YouTube and Twitter account. For all of your reliable Liverpool transfer news. It's a flat performance. I agree. They haven't, I said it's been relatively open. We haven't looked to push them up as high as we normally do. And it has been quite sort of back and forth, but they've had no cutting edge whatsoever. And Benitez is just slumped back in his seat. It's strange. I said, so this will be one win in seven games now. No, 1 point in 7 games even. So there'll be real questions asked about him tonight, I imagine. This could well be the end of him. I think that would be a waste on Everton's behalf, but I wouldn't be too fussed. Because he is a brilliant manager, and with the right players, he's absolutely got it. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone in the next couple of days. I don't know who they'd get in. Really, haven't heard much about who they would look to replace him. Don't know if they get what's his name, Duncan. It's not Duncan Ferguson, is it? Because he stayed on. He was temporarily in charge for a little bit, but I think he's just always in and around the club. I suppose they might look to get him in. Yeah, here we go into the last 10 seconds or so. Just want to say thank you for everyone who has been here and put questions in the chat or even just watched it, and that is full time. Oh, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself there. Ollie. Oh my God. I genuinely can't see him getting another Premier League job. But if he was to go anywhere, oh my God. Yes, I'm for that. Ollie for the Everton job, please. And what a great note to end it on. Thank you all for watching. Has finished Everton 1, Liverpool 4. Liverpool in cruise control by the end of it, despite a slight scare. But yeah, if you take anything from this, it's Ollie for the Everton job. Ollie for the Everton job. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the post-match reaction.